Thank you. Just gonna wait for viewers. Bring him up with you, please. I think I put the pillows. What spot? Just gonna wait for viewers. Where did that go? I can't find you. Okay. Quite a bit better. Uh-huh. So I'm just getting started, and I'm trying to adjust this so that the somewhat distracting background isn't distracting. Don't forget to bring the dog up with you, please. Do not need him trying to participate. I know he's been up there a bit much. So just getting started here, and I just felt that the other that's not bad. So welcome. It wasn't quite time. It was a little too early for bed, so I decided to do a stream. Um, and yeah, I'm gonna wait till those viewers though. The person didn't stay. Maybe their phone died. Maybe they have a few things they want to watch, and try to decide what they most want to watch first. It happens, right? So. Oh, the other thing is I could curious here. I have to be able to sleep in tomorrow, so I didn't want to get to bed too early, even though it's been a very busy day and I am tired. It's been a very verbal day too, like not just talking things that was up and streaming, but also out and about. But if I struggle to sleep because I have a sore throat, then I could just try to sleep longer. Because yeah, um, and yeah, I think. So, since we got somebody here, hopefully you might want to chat. Um, I've only been rolling about 3 minutes. And one question idea that I have on my screen here. Uh, okay, it looks like you may have left. Oh, maybe not. Is the best advice that you've ever received? And if you don't like that question, just ask me for another one. I've got a few in front of me here. I'm also going to try and think. I don't know if I'd say any are the best. There's decent advice and there's not. But usually people are coming from a place of trying to be helpful and show care and all that stuff. He's back down. Call him up again, please. Dog's been figuring out how to get a room with a closed door where he actually likes to be in. But it's just, yeah, it gets a bit distracting. Other question that we could talk about is what. So I'll list a few, and then you can answer any that you might like to, and I'll try to do the same. So, best advice you've ever received. Who is someone you really admire and why? Um, just gonna open this on the computer. Also, we could talk about, oh, thanks for the celebrations. And we got two of you here. We could talk about if you had, let's up this a little bit. If you had an hour to teach somebody something, what would you teach them and why? Thank you. Thank you. Huh? Okay, just a moment, please. I'll be right there if you're putting comments. I'm going to try and load this on the computer just in case you're still celebrating over here. What are we celebrating? Hello, each 10. Welcome, welcome. Curious where you're watching from, how you came across the channel, and if it's your first time, and glad to have you here. I'm in Canada. Whoops. Other topic. I'm new in. Are you saying Abu Dhabi or Australia, or were you trying to? You were trying to type sub, I think. Well, thank you. So did you catch the questions that I asked? Uh, um, yeah. So I don't know if I'd be able to think of what was the best advice I've ever gotten without somebody jogging my memory a little bit and kind of. When was a time when you were really happy that your efforts both paid off and were recognized? And when was a time that you wished that they had been? Or more than one, whatever comes to mind. Um, um, yeah, I would say song requests. I just don't know if I have the energy for it after the day I've had today, which was a little bit more active than I'm kind of used to. But tomorrow I for sure will. Martin Kelly will make sure of that, I'm sure, and possibly others. But let me just come to this on the other device because I don't know if I'm missing any chats, and hopefully, if I am, yes. I don't know why that one didn't show up before. I don't recognize. So yes, it's been a very tiring verbal day, but so if I was to answer some of those questions, and I found them on a database that I created a page on. Okay, thank you. So let me just quickly look at them again. I think that advice question, I'm not too sure at the moment I can answer that. These are kind of hard. Who do I most admire and why? I admire a lot of people. What do I most admire in people? I could say is tenacity, strength, and bravery, and talent, humbleness or being humble. Yeah, I think I'm easier. It's easier to kind of say the types of people that I most admire than it is to think of anybody in particular, personally. But what I'm also going to do is put these in the chat for people that are, so I don't have to keep repeating them. And if you have any questions you'd like to add as well, feel free to put them, whether they're trivia or like just conversational, you know. I'm trying to that one about the best advice you've ever received. I feel like that could be worded differently, and it might be easier to answer it, but I'm not too sure. Best advice you've received or given. No. Advice you received or favorite kind of flower. That's pretty good. As we get feedback. And what topic or around what topic? I think is kind of the way to ask that one. Um, don't know if that's the one that I want to highlight most though. I think this one's a really good one. Thankfully, it's toggling pretty good. Thanks for the second like. I think it just showed up. Um, that's just a good question in general as far as like it's a career like if something happened to your career, what would you what would you have in hopefully in place uh, to fall back on essentially. um, I'm self-employed but just gradually getting into that, so it's thanks for the third like. It's not one that I don't know, I mean, in progress with that. um I'm still getting to know each other, and I have quite a few, although maybe one a little bit more. But maybe at some point, I usually pretty able to do it myself as well. Um, but happy to have you here and to chat with and contribute. And like I said, I want to feel musical. I'd like to do some song requests, and if I get them, I will try to, even if I'm just singing a little bit of a song. But I'm terrible at thinking them up. Thank you for understanding, by the way. Um, yeah, what is something where you? I like that one, but I'm gonna slightly reword it. But I put lotion on my hands just now, so I can't. I can't use the computer for a moment, or I can try, but I might slip around a bit. uh, yeah, put this in the chat as a what? When was a time that your efforts were especially appreciated and that that meant a lot to you? Wow, your images are very similar, and your names are a little bit similar too. That's weird. Um, a lot to you, and when was the time that it they weren't? And yo, by the way. So, yeah, you both have the green. Do either of you post videos as well? And what type of stuff is on your channel, out of curiosity? And there's a third person here that I don't believe is saying anything that I'm seeing. So I welcome you two. Yeah, for this profile or whatever, I haven't gotten too familiar with the site. So um, where? And I'm not even. I'm sorry. 1 minute here. You make some stuff. What do you make? Guy and Alex Roma. By the way, thanks for the fourth like. You sent a message where? And why do you feel like it was blocked? I mean, I'm seeing your comments, so I'm confused. Yeah, but about what? HI? Out of curiosity. Jesus, who's this judgmental troll? The picture that kind of looks like one. So yeah, like what type of YouTube? I mean, I figured, if I'm asking what you posted on YouTube, then it's peace and love. Okay, well that's always good content. I will go subscribe. What is this about eating cotton candy in the walls, though? I'm kind of confused about that. And what is your cover photo of? Really? It looks a bit like a dog. That looks like fur. I eat the cotton candy in the walls. I don't understand. Why go to all that effort when you can just buy some? Or get a spinner and make it yourself? Man, that's nostalgia right there. Mostly shorts, eh? Any pants posted at all? I don't know. I have to look at it in. I always like when I can see other YouTubers' videos with them in it. And I'm not thinking I'm seeing any of that. I don't remember at this point. But it's been a long day. I'm tired. But it's not quite bedtime yet, as I said. Um, Alex, are you there? Doesn't seem to be. I just realized that. Well, he just kind of went up there like 10 to 10, so he's probably going to be closer to 11 doing what he's doing. Even though it's been a pretty tiring day. I had one extra thing that I didn't mind. But for him, well, I mean, I guess he just doesn't work, but it was a bit of a different. It wasn't work. Well, it wasn't the same thing that he used to. I love a chat with his brother also. Oh, excuse me. Um, I wish that there was more of these questions on here. I think I'm just gonna post them up on the online. Just a moment here. We got Tuvi here. Uh, I'm just bringing up an idea for this conversation. Q questions. Just out of pure curiosity, kind of. What? Let's see here. What did you used to love doing when you were a kid that you don't still like doing? Did you have a childhood nickname? What was something I used to like to do as a kid that I've actually often thought of this? Anything that I'd like to start doing again? I did more art. Is the only one I think I can think of. I did more mini golf. I went to the movie theaters more often. Did I have a childhood nickname? Not that I know of. What drives you? Okay, now we get them here too. What drives you to wake up every morning? Subjects. What subjects or causes are you passionate about? Um, Live streaming and music are mine, for the most part. Um, what's a goal that you're working towards right now? Creative projects, nothing specific. The thing I was at today, I could have kind of narrowed that down a little bit, but I think that I've done the first steps. But there was other people in the same boat as me, and they're like looking for things. So we really didn't help each other out a lot in that area. You know, it was a totally fair question to ask a musician. What are some someone who's a bit less familiar with the city, although 3 years. Um, what are some venues or music places that you would recommend? But I just haven't been going to them lately. So, a lot of them are, late in the evening and we're just kind of unwinding and relaxing. A lot of them are quite loud. And we don't drive. So, um, Etienne, are you still there? It slightly seems like you left because I said not yet about the mod thing, but maybe I'm misunderstanding. Um, some more potential questions for conversation could be. I don't remember if I told that guy that it's not all music, but he'll find that out. Like it's variety. Let's see here. There's that advice question again. I like how these are in categories. If you could swap roles with anyone for a day, who would it be? I find those ones that are like about like who questions to be a bit tricky. Um, what's your go-to karaoke song? It's a guilty pleasure. Yeah, that's too many. Prevention, stop, right? Um, okay, here's some more. If you could change one personality trait, and I'm thinking this question means about yourself, what would it be? I have a couple sort of on the tip of my tongue, but I'm not too sure. Because I wouldn't change it fully, either of the two that I'm thinking of. That's a great question. Come on, I need people here. There was some activity right off the hop, but I don't think any of them are still here. Um, what is the most important lesson that you took from your past dating relationship? Who in life do you wish you could make amends with? Um, past dating relationship, and I don't really think too much about it because I'm happy, was like 9 or 10 years ago. And no offense to anybody who has a drinking problem or just likes to drink, but I think that that would probably be. I don't know if I would say I wouldn't be in a distance relationship again, but yeah, she also liked to drink quite a bit. So, um, who is someone in your life you wish you could forgive? I don't know. There's probably a few. Bart kind of one, but anyway. Well, that ain't happening. So, um, it's an interesting question. So, although we are only a couple months, well, went fast though, a couple months into this year, what is something that you've learned about yourself this year? What have I learned about myself this year? Hmm. I don't know. In a lot of ways, I'm still kind of, I've always been. Um, that I'm looking, that I really truly need to have more balance in my life, and that I'm looking to find more activities. But that I know and I always have known that again it's about that healthy balance. It's about knowing when maybe there's too much on one side of things and you kind of balance things out. Um, what negative self-talk do you struggle with? I probably have an answer for that one, but I can't think of anything at the moment. Um, what's your definition of manhood? Am I hearing our dog upstairs making sound? Or is it the radio? think I am. Just a moment. Ow. Da, 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 da. And we're back. I saw another good potentially conversation. And even if this is after it's live, you're welcome to comment, of course. Right? Okay, but I'm really going to save my energy for when I know there's somebody here. And that person looks like they left. 4 likes in about 20 something minutes. Isn't that bad though? Oh. Yes, I'll know if I get an email that I signed up for that event. It looks like I did. The first time it was for me to and I can't but that one was Thursday, the other one was Tuesday. I'll keep exploring it, so it seems great. I wish I had a nicer tab icon than just a black square, but anyway. When do you feel like you were living life to the fullest? Hi, Rickable Evil. Great name. X777. Wow. Fancy. When do you feel that I'm on this question? When do you feel like you were living your life to the fullest? Ooh, that's now loading as a third time. I'm trying to think of when I've. Today was a good example. I wish I could think of other ones. If you don't like that question, though, I could pick a different one. I'll look more at that site later. How do you actively try to achieve personal growth? I mean, for me, live streaming is one. Honestly, never. I have osteogenesis imperfecta. Oh, you know what? I have. I might have something like that. Rheumatoid arthritis. I have neuropathy, which is a little bit different, but you were born with that constant pain and stuff. Yeah, but you know what? Thanks for the 5th like. I still feel like you could live life to the fullest. Like maybe you're not enjoying your life all that much right now. I don't know. Sounds like you're not. If you feel like, but I don't know. Even if you're not living it to the fullest, you can still appreciate some moments. Thanks for the 6th like, by the way. So, oh, thank you. Um, Actually, your name is not Abel. I read that wrong. At least I don't think it is. Maybe it is. Whoever just took the 6th like array, did you mean to? And if so, why? And if not, please put it back. And we got a 3rd one there. So do you post videos on your channel as well? They hit the bell, you get notified when. Yeah, I get that. And that says a lot, compared to what kind of stuff do you post about? That says a lot when you say that, you know, they don't feel all that strong in that. Thanks for the 6th like, by the way. What is your profile picture of? Skeleton? Okay. Open that. I can do it. 6th like disappeared again. It came back and then it went. We got 3 of you here. And I want to ask a few more of these questions as well. What do you post about? I mean, I know I just opened it, but I'll ask anyway. I don't know what's going on with that Six Lightning. It's a head game I'm not playing. This one is a fairly common question, but I'll ask it anyway. What is a piece of advice that you would give a younger you? What qualities do you most value in a friend? I think we'd all have the same answer for that question. And maybe some of these other ones too. Um, yeah, I don't understand the concept. Well, I mostly don't understand the concept of shoutouts. As long as the coastal game's cool and singing, so you've got videos with you in them. I always like that when um my commenters. I'm musical as well. It's just been a really long day, and I'm kind of out of talent. Killing? What's that about? Oh, that's your name. Oh yeah, gaming. If it's not like we are actual sports, having that would not be difficult. Although I guess with the wrist, right? Thank you for your voice and support. And where have you heard that? Not that I don't. I thought that was the other person for a moment there, but yeah, I'm just curious. I haven't mentioned anything about that, um, and I'm just curious where you're hearing that. But cool. So you're saying this is where you have your singing? I've never understood brainwashing. Can somebody I feel like I've experienced it sometimes, but can somebody tell me about that a bit more? Oh, they're weird. I'm not seeing the singing for some reason. I don't know if it would allow. Um, go back to these questions for a moment. Double A, you gonna answer mine, please? Just curious. Welcome. This is a safe space. Yes, to chat. Uh, what's one thing people misunderstand about you? Two, if you want to give me a bonus one. I like that question. And I feel like I could totally answer it as well, but again, I'm tired. I might use most of my answers tomorrow, but again, in conversation, I might think, actually, that makes me think of my answer would be, that kind of thing. What was something surprising you learned about yourself? How do you comfort yourself? Do you like to be alone? These are all good questions. That was kind of gender based. Um, I guess the person watching right now, I'm not too sure who it is, if it's somebody that's in the comments or somebody that's being shy. Um, but I just saw some hearts appear on this screen, so thank you. Oh, and this one too. Films List YouTube. Hello, hello. For a moment that sounded familiar. I don't know why, but um, welcome. Is that Fabian by any chance, is it? I guess not. Canada, how about you? And are you a filmmaker, a live streamer, which can be similar, of course, or do you just talk about films? I'm gonna be getting more into like fancier filmmaking, hopefully before super long. Right. Can't put this here. That's one thing about doing these at this time of night is the shadow. I'll hold it for a few minutes. They're still kind of there, but so films. I've asked a few questions. Did you hear them? Sorry, it's been a long day, but it's too early for bed. Okay, yeah, I was just thinking earlier about how I'm kind of not in the movie loop. I don't even know what's out there right now, and I haven't been to one in quite a while. I've done movie extra work a bit though, and but it's been a while with that too. But that's cool. I'm into like comedy, adventure, romance, sci-fi a little bit. Anything I can find free. Where are you watching from, by the way? I'm just looking at my other device if that's not obvious. Looking at a list of questions, but some of these I'm coming up with myself. And if you haven't liked yet, I appreciate if you do, please. If you could know the answer to anything in life, what would it be? I like that question, and thank you for the 6th like. I think most of us would agree that the best way to start a day is leisurely doing what you want. But during the week, most of us don't have that luxury, right? And I would also add to that. The 6th like just went away, maybe unintentionally though. I would also add to that um, even with a fairly uh, availability to do those things, it can take a lot to get there sometimes. Thanks for putting the 6th like back, or to gave it. Um, what's a job you think you'd be really good at? Have you ever won a contest? Let me answer some of these as well. Well, I kind of did answer the best way to start a day. What's a current? Oh, what's a current trend you just don't get? Shout outs. No, just kidding. Freeze a little bit. I don't know. Yes, I've won a road contest when I was a kid, and I've progressed into the next levels, but not the finals, but didn't win a karaoke contest. Um, Other than that, I don't really remember. What job do I think I do very well at? Musician, photographer, healer, um, and lots of other ones. But again, I'd need some inspiration. Uh, what job would you be terrible at? Um, I'll come back to the chat on the other device in case I might be missing anything in just a moment. Would you rather be the funniest or smartest person in the room? What game show? What's your favorite game show? And do you think you could win it? And I've kind of been turned off from this list with that one. But those were some good questions, I'll say that much. Although this is all on this same site, which oh, you're back. Cool. And of course you're on YouTube. I can see that you're on YouTube Films. And aside from the YT in your name, does anybody have an interesting similar type questions? Some of the ones I've been reading for me. I don't feel like many of you have actually really answered any of the ones I've read, but a little earlier though, yeah. I'm going to try and think of one that I'm just going to come up with on the spot that's not some of my kind of usual get to know questions. But like I say, it's been a long day. I'm a little bit tired, so it might be a little bit slow on doing that. And we got 3 of you here. But I think only one of, and again, it says 5, but there was 6 likes. Now there's 2. Another head game, or accidentally unclicking it. Or thinking, yeah, I don't know if I like that. Okay, I like that. I don't know if I like that. Just like it. And if you don't like it, just don't like it, but keep it like. That's what I would appreciate. I'll be right back. I'm going to think of a burning question I might have for our viewers, for lack of a different way of putting it. And then when I come back, I'll ask it, and hopefully you'll want to answer it. I'll be under 5 minutes. Oh. One I will ask right now, though, is what has been your favorite concert that you've ever been to, or one that you'd like to go to? I don't even know what that means. I don't know what channeling means. I don't know what dropping bars means. Other than, yeah, I'm not really sure what that means. Chocolate bars? I'm not sure. But yeah, favorite concert that you've been to, or a concert you'd like to see, or show, like you'd like to see live. That's what I'm going to say now, and I'll think of another one while I'm off the screen for a moment. Doesn't look like I've missed anything, but we do have somebody here. By the way, if you stay tuned for a little bit longer, probably 10 more minutes at least, maybe a little less than that actually, I'm not sure. You'll get to hear somebody on classical piano. I mean, you can do non-classical too. You might even hear flute. But yeah. So, and tomorrow I'll do some music when I have more energy. I am actually like I'm almost thinking I don't know if I can keep this interesting for the next 10 minutes. They've been rolling for an hour. I think I did one earlier this evening. Did one earlier today. I've also been out and about. Um, it's not the usual. Okay, no, I don't like that. Well, basically, it's the distracting. That's not bad. Sorry for the lighting. It's late at night here, so there's no sun coming in the window, and my eyes are sensitive to brightness. But at the same time, especially after a long day, but at the same time, they're a little bit kind of struggling to see in this lighting. So, um, but I can. I see that there's two of you here, and oh. um, well, I don't really likely have any products to sell, and I don't really need to buy any or can't afford it. So let's use this tab to say being a bit slow to open what I just searched. The site I was on had some moving images, so I don't know if that slowed it down at all, or if it's just being slow. Guess I could do it on this one. Questions. It's like those things that you used to find like quizzes online. That's kind of what this feels like. Questions to get to know people. I'm just too tired to think of many myself. Okay, here we go. But if you have any, feel free to ask. And if I'm comfortable answering, I will. This is weird, but it's different questions this time around. Um, just looking for something that I had over here on the couch that I don't see at the moment. It's probably just blending in with other stuff. Um, doesn't look like there's anybody here right now, so. I'll have to get the one from upstairs and then order more. Eventually I'll find it and use it. It's funny, I just asked that one a little earlier. Uh, can't be 60. Dogs. The sixth like I think just came back. Or there's a sixth like there. It just showed up. So thank you. Is there somebody there? Can you tell me if there is? It can't. It doesn't look like it, but. I'm gonna run a little quieter because it doesn't seem like there's anybody here right now. So, but if I'm wrong, I won't know it easily. Okay, here we go. So, what is a talent that you have that nobody else knows about? Um, or rather, sorry, let me re-ask that. I was confusing the questions that I was reading. A talent that you have that most people don't have. Where did you grow up and what was it like? What was your first job? Well, let's see here. I can answer some of these actually too. Um, the first one I'm not too sure. One in that sequence I'm not too sure what it would be. Journaling maybe. Um, although I think most people could learn to do it with decent amount of success. Uh, Repping Ontario, it was a very diverse but also relaxed place to grow up. I don't know. What was your first job? Mine was in a grocery store. Some of these I did see before. What is one life lesson you think everybody should know? Oh, Candy's in love with those life lessons. What does success mean to you? What is something you've changed your mind about recently? Just looking at some interesting kind of chit chat, get to know questions, um, whether it's would you rather style or just in general. What would be a perfect day to you? What are you most grateful for? What are your. Yeah, yeah, of course. It hasn't been that long. You didn't stick around very long last time, and we are going to be calling it a day, and at least I'm winding a bit more for the evening soon, but I'm rolling for another 10 or 15 minutes probably. So if you'd like to stay, I'm happy to have you here. Don't forget to like. Let's get it up to 7, please. And yeah, I'm asking kind of interesting questions. You're staying more. Cool. Um, I'm just looking at. Do you have any questions for me, by the way? Thank you. Do you have any questions for me, either of you? What is your dream job, or are you already working it? There's one. Um, um, what is a made-up word that you incorporate into your conversations often? That's a fun question. I'm thinking that the indicator's got to be wrong. I could say 50 minutes, which is a lot of time. So, we're rolling into tomorrow morning, by the way. Probably around 10 a.m. Central Standard. Whew. Um, what's your go-to karaoke song? What's the funniest thing that happened to you recently? I like that one. I did this speed dating format networking event. It had funny moments. I don't know. Um, Something on the way to the forum. Just kidding. Um, hmm. What childhood memory of yours makes you smile? Hope we can get some interesting answers after the fact from some of these too. Jason, are you still there? Maybe your phone died. People's celebrity crush. No judgments. First impressions of me. Those questions go hand in hand, right? I mean, I'm just kidding. Um, Ideal future scenarios. Things you're looking for in a significant other. When do you feel the strongest connection to me or anyone? The only person who wouldn't believe in, well, I guess the people sometimes define love at first sight as someone who's never experienced, you know, isn't very old and hasn't. It's, I think, a pretty common occurrence, to be honest. What is a core value you live by, and how does it show up daily? Kindness and love, and you're looking at it. I mean, that's a pretty accurate answer. Well, there could be others, but that's what I'm thinking of. The person like, I don't like that guy. Oh, they're going by. I don't know why it would only be showing some of your comic cases, so I'm assuming that you're just not putting others. I'm only seeing two, and it's not indicating you're even still here. So if that's inaccurate, you're welcome to come after the video is posted, very shortly, or come back tomorrow and put your comments underneath. Um, what's a dream of yours that you put on hold and why? And I really don't think necessarily. Well, I guess it depends on this and that, but I don't think that becoming a parent is a good reason to. I think that you have to kind of prioritize. You know, your kids, especially when they're younger and need you more. But I think you can still go for your dreams. You know, but people may have other reasons. It's always nice when you can, you know, feel motivated and feel like you're able to, amongst the rest of the stuff going on in your life, to do so, though. Anyway, it is getting late. I'm happy that this got 7 likes, but this is kind of fun. I'll have to do this more often, these question things. What do you hope to be remembered by when you pass away? And lastly, with this one, I think, um, what is one small thing you could do today to become a better version of yourself? Um, the one just before the latter one there, kind of comes up on here fairly often. Uh, or like every time I do this, I'm leaving a bit of me. I'm leaving actually quite a large, you know, aspects of me on here to, inspire and motivate and create the legacy. Um, And I think today, I mean, every day there's something, but it was especially obvious today. I I did some small, potentially really big thing to become a better version of myself. I mean, I am. I've got a lot of great qualities, and I'm a pretty good person as I am. But you can always improve, right? So in one way or another. So yeah, I asked that question to you. Um, and then, if you'd like to, pick a number between 1 and 7. Sorry, 6. But we do have 7 likes. Not that I'm saying that if other people see this and they happen to see this far in, while it's not live, I'm thinking it's a little unlikely. But if they do, because it's an hour and a half in almost, um, um, you know, happy to have more than 7 likes, but seven's a pretty good number, and I'm pretty happy with it. So, but if you'd like to pick a number between 1 and 6, oh, thanks for the 8th like. Now I kind of want to stick around just a little bit longer, see who I got it from, and possibly chat for a few minutes. But I am wrapping up soon. It's been a long day. Okay, and you took it away. Did you intend to take it away? I'll give you a moment to put it back. You're not putting it back, so you accidentally gave it. I'm not sure what's up with. I'm gonna. Yeah. Okay. Odd. Especially after this lovely but long day I've had, and kind of in general, I have no energy for hit games. So that's what that was. I don't know, but yeah. So again, folks, at the moment things are a bit quieter here, but it's done pretty well. This video, 10 a.m. ish, somewhere in the 10 a.m. hour Central Standard Time. Um, Bye for now.